welcome to my channel, Canadian Journey Hub. Today's video is the part 2 of the explanation of the refusal reasons of Canadian study visa. In our previous video, we were able to explain the reason behind the visa refusal in the statement called "You won't leave Canada." Now we saw that the visa officer used so many factors and reasons in order to approve or refuse your study permit. And we saw that the particular reason that the visa officer used is that you have not satisfied me that you will leave Canada at the end of your stay. In reaching this decision, I considered several factors, including travel history, immigration status in country of residence, family ties in Canada and in country of residence, purpose of visit. Now, these are the 4 main reasons that we're able to explain in the first video. So if you have not been able to watch that video, go back to watch that video and then you come and then continue with this part 2. Now let me say that I am not an immigration consultant. I am not an immigration lawyer. All this is for information purposes, and it is based on my personal experience and the research that I have made about Canadian study permit. Now let's get started. Today we are going to treat another 3 most important refusal reasons. 1. Employment prospects in country of residence, current employment situation, and personal assets and financial status. Now we are going to take them one after the other. First, employment prospects in country of residence. Now when the visa officer give you this refusal statement, then the general idea is about your situation in your country of residence, whether you are employed or not. So if you are unable to state in your statement of purpose that you are employed, then it means that when you move to Canada, you will not return. So the visa officer will use this statement to refuse your application. So if you are able to describe in your statement of purpose your employment situation, then the visa officer will look into it, and then he or she will take decision whether to grant you or to refuse your application. And this explanation is that you can state either you are going for this education in order to be highly connected or in order to get employment, and it depends on how you are going to write it so that the visa officer will look at it and grant your visa for you. Now the second one is current employment situation. If you are not employed in your home country, and this one pertains to those applicants who are adults, who are of age, of working age. So if the current situation in your home country, you are not employed and you have applied for a study visa to Canada, The visa officer can look at this situation and take a decision that because you are not employed, how can you sustain yourself? You don't have any employment. So where did you get your money to come and study in Canada? So it will create a lot of situations or a lot of question marks before you, and then the visa officer will use this situation to refuse your application unless you are able to explain to the visa officer your employment situation currently before he or she will assess and grant your visa. Now the third one is that the visa officer will look at your personal asset and financial status. And again, this one also goes to applicants who are adults, who are of working age. Your personal assets, you didn't describe in your statement of purpose. Either you have some assets. There are so many situations that you can use as your assets. You can use your parent, you can use your car, you can use your house, and so many other things. Now let me say that in this personal asset situation, depending upon how you are going to describe it to the visa officer, there are so many ways to describe it. Now we have employment. You can use employment. You can use your parent. You can use your siblings, and so many other factors depending upon your situation. Now there is no one size fits all approach. Based on the file or based on the statement of purpose that you have written before the visa officer, you can create so many personal assets in it. And this one, you have to prove it with an evidence so that the visa officer can decide on your situation. And then financial status. You don't have enough finance to finance your education. So why are you coming to Canada to study? So do you have money in your in the bank statement that you presented? You are an adult, 30, 40 years plus, and you don't have bank account. Somebody is sponsoring you. How did you come by that money? It means that personally, you do not have any financial, you are not grounded in terms of financial status, and you are applying to study in Canada. So the visa officer will look at this situation and decide whether to approve or refuse your application. So guys, let us be careful when we are applying for our study permit. These are some of the basic points that the visa officer look at before granting or refusing your application. So when it comes to the person will not leave Canada according to the Canadian system or according to the Canadian law, these are some of the factors that visa officer looked, or these are some of the points that the visa officer looked in order to refuse your application. Now when your visa is refused, you get general statement, travel history, immigration status in your country of residence, family ties in Canada and in country of residence, purpose of visit, employment prospect in country of residence, current employment situation, and then personal asset and financial status. So these are some of the basic ones. And in recent times, on some of the refusals that we have seen, most of them are purpose of visit and then personal assets and financial status. When it comes to Africans, most of them are not It is not pertaining to Africa, but in the African perspective, these are some of the, when you do the analysis, these are major factors that the visa officer use as grounds to refuse visa application. So we have come to the end of this. Subscribe to our channel, share our videos so that many people will get to this. Bye bye for now, and then wait for our next video. Bye.